Hello everyone, this is Sensei Starman and welcome to what will likely be the final chapter of Let's Play Less Manly in Search for the King. Yeah, short adventure game, even with me going out of my way to try and show the logic chain behind the puzzles and what can happen if you get things wrong. This is still an incredibly short game, even by the standards. The only reason this would give you any playtime at all is if you spent forever trying to figure out what to do until you finally break down and buy the hint guide. Because this was before the internet, kids. You typically had to buy a hint book from the publisher to get to the end of these games. You couldn't just find another Let's Play video. You couldn't just find a walkthrough. We didn't even have game FAQs back then. Some of the more enterprising companies like Sierra and LucasArts had a hint line where you could call them and they'd tell you how to get past the point when you get stuck at, $1.95 a minute. I don't know if Acolyte ever had the line, but I know that they sold the hint books because they sure make a bunch of references to buying one. But anyway, as long as we're here at Kingdom's Gates, look at gates. The word gates isn't needed in this adventure. Look at gate. The most famous gates you know, except for Bill. Yeah, nice work on the parser there, Stephen. Can we open the gate? You can't take the tour without a pass. Okay, so we leave. And hey, we have a nice handy overhead map, which we haven't had for any section of the game apart from the carnival. Which just shows us, restrooms, lodging, telephones. But we can't seem to go anywhere. Oh, until we find that one little space. Yeah, there's only one place we can go. Yep, Red's Bar and Grill with a nightly celebrity lookalike contest. Notice the nightly talent contest, Les. You could do your famous Sting impersonation. Don't stand so close to me. Okay. Now this is why we have been gathering all of the items that we've been picking up so far, because you might recall we now have a scarf, a cape, a pair of sunglasses, and a white suit. Now are we going to change into it? Well, we're going to pull a Superman, wear suit. Stepping into a nearby phone booth, you slip on the cool shade, zip up the sequin white suit, wrap the silk scarf around your neck, adjust the majestic cape over your shoulders, and attempt to not look too ridiculous. Oh, and to complete the ensemble. Yeah, same music. It's slightly different here. Yeah, we're getting the less manly theme. Dance! Alright, Les, it's finally here. The big chance. Your mind races back to those days spent studying freeze-frame stills of Dance Fever. You decide to pull out all the stops, not hold anything back. Give them the whole 9 yards. From now on, you're a lean, mean dancing machine. Thank you very much. And thank you, much contestant number 1. Well, folks, even though we've only seen one contestant, I think we all know what the outcome will be. Here it comes, Les, your big break. Last place has been locked up by Lester P. Manley. Dead silence. Well, Les, at least you didn't come up empty-handed. As a consolation prize, the gates of the kingdom have been opened especially for you. So hey, we now at least have gained admission to Graceland. I mean, the kingdom. And a nice little touch, they have changed our graphic to reflect we are now wearing an Elvis costume. We are going to save here very quickly. Because even though the gates have been opened, sweeping spiral staircase, importer marble floor. This room screams of large injections of money. Pretty fancy for a down-home southern boy. And look at rug. Don't worry, it's imitation. Wouldn't want to offend anybody. The images are blurred for legal reasons. Look at all the gold. Plaques, awards, and other reminders of a stellar career are enshrined here for viewing by the public. Now, we do need to grab some stuff from here. Look at awards. The king could do it all. Look at guitar. Complete with the king's trademark, a broken string. Get guitar. If you take it, you'll set off the alarm. There's also, look at mic. It's only a prop, which is fine because you can't really sing anyway. Get mic. If you take it, you'll set off the alarm. Well, how are we supposed to turn off the alarm, you might ask? The gold-wrought table was built with extra heavy-duty construction, and you notice the chairs have been reinforced. Well, you know what? There's a fruit display in the middle, a really weird one, but look at fruit. Gee, they're not all wax. Get banana. Taken. That somehow we do not need to worry about the alarm. Go figure. Yes, it's a door. Open door. There's a more interesting way to get into the kitchen. Yeah, they're just taunting us at this point. Okay. So, how do we turn the alarms off? Well, look at bear. Look in mouth. Inside the bear's mouth is a switch. Get switch. You can't take the switch. No, in this case, we want to lower helmet in mouth. Lower helmet into mouth. This looks like another job for Helmet Bean, the world's smallest man. Mission accomplished. The alarm is now deactivated. All right, so now we can, once I can get behind the rope, get mic. Maybe you can lip sync. Get guitar. And fix guitar with floss. Using the length of floss that proves so valuable in getting you this far, you replace the broken string. Well, it's not really fixed, but then again, you can't really play. Don't worry, it will do for now. But yes, that most interesting way to get into the kitchen. Well, we head upstairs. The presence of the king is overwhelming, almost as if he left a part of himself here. And we've not done the interior music yet, have we? Oh, an interesting thing, we can't, I guess we can. It's just very tricky to get down that staircase. And we can't get too far in here. Inside the bureau is a secret mechanism. Okay, touch mechanism. Aha! From here? You must have looked at the back of the box. Whee! And release pull. Thanks. Okay, so what are we supposed to do here? Well, the only thing missing is a soda jerk. And I don't know how exactly you're supposed to see it, but there is in fact some bread here. And from counter space here, we can spread butter on bread. Because you remember that jar that we had since the very beginning of the game? The jar that was in Les's lunch? Yeah, it's a jar of peanut butter, but there's nothing to indicate that. It just looks like an empty jar. You neatly arrange the ingredients. Soon your mouth begins to water like a Pavlovian dog in anticipation of the feast that awaits you. Because what some people may not know is that Elvis Presley's favorite snack was apparently a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Which is not exactly a nutritious thing. But we are eating this sandwich, get more in tune with the king. Burp. And you'll note that we now have 470 points, and we've also immediately gained weight just from eating that one sandwich. Too bad you don't have a quarter. And that takes us back into the dining room. And that is almost everything. You know, we have 470 points. What else do we need to do? Well, we now have the materials to do a much better Elvis impression for the contest. So we're going to head back over here, but two more things. And we can actually do the same part in the game, but it's kind of funnier here. You can just type in who is the king. Who do you think? Bruce Campbell? And you can also type in excuse me. You're excused. There's 490 points. But we're going to go ahead and save here. Why? Because there is one thing that we can do to die here. I'm going to drop card. And hey, to their credit, they actually do show it on the ground there, but let's open the door. From here, I'm standing right by it. I was down on the curb, apparently. And yeah, I guess we do need the music for this part. Now we're going to sing. All right, time to rock and roll. Uh-oh. Darn, what a shame. You made it this way, only to be perished, trampled under a mob of crazed fans. But while this is one ending, some believe in a hereafter. Now, can you imagine how annoying it would be to get this far and then find out, what do you mean there's a resurrection card? Let's see, Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Holly, might have been the Blues Brothers. Look, Doctor, I think he's starting to respond. And Nancy, apparently. Welcome back, Les. We thought, hey, where did you get that? Yes, despite not having a camera, we somehow got a picture of Elvis in heaven. But we ain't got the cash. What can we do? Les did figure out a way for the station to pay off on the contest, and now after taking over as owner, president, and CEO of WILL, he has turned into the highest rating station in the country. The stunning Stella Hart still works for the station, but now she's Les's personal assistant in charge of raises. Colonel Bob sold controlling interest in his circus to an entertainment software company that wanted to diversify. He now manages his own chain of S&Ls. Angelina Zarmuska was sucked into the spirit world during a particularly intense ball reading session. She's racked up a small fortune channeling mortals. Helmut Bean, after several close encounters with some adventurous Southern belles, did prove that dreams do come true. He signed on as spokesman for a leading breakfast cereal company and is now the host of his own talk show. Mr. Fabulous never did get that call from his agent and quickly fell into showbiz obscurity. He spends most of his working day asking, "Do you want cheese on that burger?" Vito gave up his life of crime and now spends his day playing Nintendo. Bobby finally realized that her obsession with the king was absurd. She now lives in a small commune in Arizona, awaiting the arrival of a Venusian space transport. Leela Libido is tanning. To be continued. And yes, indeed, they did make a sequel to this game, which I have also never played before, and which I'm kind of dreading now, because honestly, this game, it's mostly forgotten for a reason. It did not have the courage to truly try and be as ribald as the Leisure Suit Larry games. It also was nowhere near as funny as the Leisure Suit Larry games. There were nowhere near as many random things you could try to do, near as random things you could try, or funny responses when you tried them. The only thing you can say for it is that it did pioneer the idea of digitized actors, albeit for one actor bending over a cabinet and a water cooler. And they did introduce some more cartoonish graphics at a time when this was state of the art. But, yeah, I have played it, so you do not have to. So, you're welcome. But join me next time for something that is going to be... Well, I'm a little burned down on adventure games at the moment, and RPGs, so I'm going to go back to an old favorite that, well, you'll see what it is next time. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you are so inclined. And we'll continue the adventure with another adventure next time. Take care until then.